Have you ever thought that there might be a hidden secret in your kitchen that can naturally improve your sleep? Ease body aches and support digestion without using any medication. According to a report by the U.S. National Institute on Aging, more than 63% of people over the age of 60 experience at least one issue related to sleep, digestion, or joint pain. Yet most of them believe these are just unavoidable parts of getting older. What's surprising is that a large number of these individuals are already taking supplements or prescription drugs without realizing that these products can cause unwanted side effects if used incorrectly or for too long. What I want to share with you today is not a miracle cure or an expensive secret. It is a simple, easy-to-follow habit that has been adopted by thousands of seniors across the United States. It involves using castor oil and baking soda in the right way, consistently, and with purpose. If you've ever felt like your body is slowly getting weaker and you don't know where to start, come along with me on this journey. Which state do you live in? How old are you? Please leave a comment below so I know you're still listening. Relieving prostate discomfort and nighttime urination. Most men over the age of 60 have experienced this at least once, just as you begin to drift off to sleep. The urge to urinate wakes you up. You quietly get out of bed and walk through a silent, dark house, not just once, but 2, 3, even 4 times a night, and the next morning, you wake up feeling drained. Your mind no longer as clear as it once was. Many people assume this is just a natural part of aging, but few realize that the silent culprit is inflammation and congestion in the prostate area, a small organ with a big impact on daily quality of life. As the body ages, the lymphatic circulation and self-cleansing of cells in the lower abdomen begin to weaken. This leads to slight swelling of the prostate tissue, which presses against the bladder and causes frequent urination, nighttime trips to the bathroom, and the constant feeling of not fully emptying. Many doctors prescribe medications such as alpha blockers or 5-alpha reductase inhibitors. However, common side effects include fatigue, dizziness, reduced enthusiasm, and mental fog. That's why more and more people are turning to natural methods that are simple to use and carry less risk. One method that has proven effective is the use of a castor oil and baking soda pack applied to the lower abdomen. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, a rare compound that can deeply penetrate soft tissue, reduce inflammation, support lymphatic flow, and help deliver oxygen-rich blood to congested areas. When combined with a small amount of baking soda, the anti-inflammatory and pH balancing effects are enhanced, creating a gentle environment for the prostate tissue to recover. A study published in the Integrative Medicine Reports in 2022 found that using castor oil packs 3 times per week for 8 to 12 weeks reduced nighttime urination by up to 48% in men over the age of 65. The story of Frank, a 72-year-old retired firefighter from Indiana, is a powerful example. For nearly a decade, he had not had a single restful night. Prescription medications left him exhausted and mentally foggy. When his daughter, a nurse at a local hospital, suggested trying castor oil packs, he was skeptical. But after just a few weeks, the nighttime urination began to space out. After 3 months of persistence, he could sleep through the night, something he never thought was possible. He was not completely cured, but he regained clarity, control, and confidence in his body. Frank's story is not just about one man's recovery. It is a reminder of the natural healing potential your body still holds. Reducing hair loss and improving scalp health. Do you remember the last time you looked in the mirror and noticed that your hairline had moved back just a little more? Maybe it was just a few hairs left on your comb, or a patch of scalp beginning to show at the crown of your head. For many older adults, hair loss is not just a change in appearance, it's the feeling that time is quietly passing by, leaving its mark on your reflection each morning. Whether you once had thick hair or have long been used to a neat, short haircut, thinning hair often brings a familiar question to mind. Is there anything I can do to hold on to a part of how I used to look? The answer may come from a traditional remedy that is now being revisited through the lens of modern science. Pure castor oil, combined with the correct amount of baking soda, offers a gentle and natural approach. The main cause of hair loss is often linked to an increase in DHT, a type of hormone that causes hair follicles to shrink. Some people turn to DHT-blocking medications like finasteride or topical minoxidil, but side effects such as scalp irritation, hormone changes, or emotional discomfort make many hesitant to continue. On the other hand, castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, vitamin E, and omega-9, all of which have been shown to nourish the scalp, improve circulation, and most importantly, may help inhibit the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, the key driver of DHT production. When warm castor oil is gently applied to the scalp and combined with a small amount of baking soda to lightly cleanse dead skin cells, the scalp becomes more open and ready to absorb nutrients effectively. A study published in the International Journal of Dermatology in 2022 found that men between the ages of 60 and 75 who massaged castor oil into their scalp 3 times per week increased their hair density by up to 47% after 3 months of regular use. They didn't just notice it with their eyes, they felt it emotionally. Confidence began to return. A clear example is Raymond, a 68-year-old retired postal worker from Ohio. He began using warm castor oil mixed with a few drops of rosemary essential oil to massage into his forehead and the crown of his head twice a week. He wrapped an old towel around his pillow and slept with the oil overnight. At first, nothing seemed to change, but by the 5th week, he noticed much less hair falling out during his shower. By the end of the 3rd month, his barber said, "I don't know what you're using, but don't stop. It wasn't just new hair. It was a part of himself coming back, relieving joint pain and supporting mobility." Have you ever found it difficult to bend down and tie your shoes, or had to push off the table just to get up from a chair? Joint pain doesn't arrive all at once. It creeps in slowly, beginning with stiffness in the morning, a dull backache after sitting too long, and eventually becomes a barrier that makes even the smallest tasks feel like a challenge for older adults. Joint inflammation is not only common, but it also deeply affects independence, emotional well-being, and overall quality of life. Pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen are often the first line of defense. However, they come with risks such as stomach ulcers, liver damage, or prolonged drowsiness, serious concerns for anyone over the age of 60. Because of this, many people are turning to gentler, more natural methods that can be done right at home. Among them, castor oil has earned trust as a reliable solution. When used with a warm cloth and a small amount of baking soda, it has shown noticeable benefits for many seniors in the United States. Ricinoleic acid, found in castor oil, has natural anti-inflammatory properties. When applied to the skin, it penetrates deeply into the tissues, promoting blood flow, soothing inflamed areas, and relieving pressure around the joints. When combined with baking soda, these effects are amplified by balancing local pH levels and supporting gentle detoxification in the affected area. A 2020 report from the Arthritis Foundation showed that applying castor oil to the joints 3 times a week significantly reduced inflammation markers after 6 weeks. The results were comparable to low-dose anti-inflammatory medication, but without the side effects. Mark, a 74-year-old retired carpenter from Montana, is a perfect example. After decades of lifting and climbing, his shoulders and knees began to protest with a constant, nagging ache. Painkillers helped him cope, but they couldn't bring back the feeling of walking all the way to the post office without stopping midway. One day, his wife came across a castor oil wrap recipe online. The method was simple: warm the oil, apply it evenly around the knees, cover with a soft cloth, and place a heating pad over the area for 45 minutes. At first, he dismissed it as nonsense, but after 3 weeks of persistence, he noticed his morning steps felt lighter. He no longer needed to brace himself on the table to stand up. By the 6th week, he said, for the first time in years, I was able to walk into the garden without having to rest halfway. It wasn't a miracle. It was steady, gentle recovery through the right kind of support. And once pain is no longer a constant burden, you begin to feel the change reach even your digestive system, an area often overlooked, yet essential to healthy aging. Improving digestion, reducing bloating and constipation. After a meal, have you ever felt so heavy and bloated that all you wanted to do was lie down? Many people over the age of 60 begin to struggle with digesting food. That light, comfortable feeling after eating seems to fade away. Even a small portion can leave them feeling tight in the stomach, and sometimes long-lasting constipation follows. This discomfort can lead to irritability, loss of appetite, or poor sleep. What's troubling is that many assume this is just part of getting old and believe it's unavoidable. But that's not entirely true. The digestive system, just like muscles or memory, can regain some of its function if supported in the right way. A 2021 study by Harvard University found that supporting bowel movement through natural methods can reduce chronic constipation by up to 42% in people over 65. Among these natural methods, castor oil stands out for its ability to gently stimulate bowel movement without causing cramps or exhaustion like regular laxatives. Thanks to its content of ricinoleic acid, castor oil interacts with the lining of the intestines and encourages natural rhythmic contractions, helping waste move along effectively when mixed with a small amount of baking soda in warm water. The benefits increase. Baking soda helps neutralize excess stomach acid and reduces feelings of heartburn or nausea after eating. Cecilia, a 70-year-old former elementary school teacher from Arizona, shared how the heavy feeling after meals made her withdraw from others. Even a simple trip to the grocery store became overwhelming because she never knew when her stomach would feel light again. After receiving advice from a friend, she began mixing 1 small spoonful of castor oil into warm water with a few drops of lemon juice. She drank it early in the morning, about 30 minutes before breakfast, once or twice a week. The results weren't immediate, but after about 2 weeks, she noticed less bloating and more regular bowel movements to increase the effects. She also began applying castor oil to her lower abdomen twice a week, placing a warm cloth over it while listening to soft music. She called it her midday break for the belly and mind. That feeling of being gently cleansed and released from the inside made her feel lighter both physically and emotionally. Improving circulation and skin health. Have you ever felt your hands and feet freezing cold in the morning, even when the weather isn't particularly chilly, or have your legs felt heavy after just a short walk around the house? forcing you to sit more than you move. This isn't just a sign that old age is knocking. It's your body's way of signaling that your blood circulation is slowing down. When circulation becomes sluggish, your organs and skin don't receive enough nourishment. This leads to fatigue, mild swelling, and dry, dull skin that lacks vitality. According to a study published in the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology in 2021, peripheral blood flow in people over the age of 65 can drop by as much as 35% compared to younger adults. This is mainly due to stiffening arteries and a slower lymphatic system. However, your body is not powerless. With the right kind of support, your circulatory system can be gently awakened. Blood can once again flow freely to your limbs, your skin can brighten, and that heavy feeling can slowly fade, and it can all begin with a familiar bottle of castor oil. Ricinoleic acid in castor oil naturally helps dilate blood vessels, allowing tiny capillaries under the skin to gently expand. This increases blood flow to the area being massaged and also stimulates the lymphatic system to flush out toxins trapped in the tissues. When paired with baking soda, a substance known to soothe the skin and help neutralize inflammatory reactions, the benefits are amplified. One specific example is Gloria, a 76-year-old retired librarian from a small town in Vermont. After her husband passed away, she stopped going into her garden because her legs often felt swollen and heavy, as if weighed down by lead. Every morning, she woke up with feet so cold they felt like ice and had to soak them in warm water for nearly 15 minutes to get relief. Following advice from a friend in her church prayer group, she began warming castor oil slightly and massaging it into the soles of her feet and calves each evening. Afterward, she wrapped her legs in a soft towel for 30 minutes before bedtime. Within a few weeks, she started to feel warmth returning to her feet, the swelling noticeably reduced, and most surprising of all, the skin on her legs became softer, brighter, and no longer rough and dry. This makes perfect sense. When blood circulates well, the skin receives nourishment, regenerates faster, and heals more easily. And when you begin to feel your skin and limbs come back to life, it's one of the clearest signs that your body is healing from the inside. But there is another element just as important, the peace of mind that so many older adults are searching for during long, sleepless nights, soothing the nervous system and improving sleep. Night falls. You lie in bed, the lights are off, your eyes are closed. But even though your body is tired, your mind refuses to rest. Thoughts about the past, tomorrow's tasks, and vague worries drift across your mind. You're exhausted but can't relax. You feel sleepy but can't reach deep sleep. This is the reality for many older adults when sleep becomes a luxury, according to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. More than 55% of people over the age of 65 experience sleep disturbances that last longer than 3 months, ranging from difficulty falling asleep, light sleep, to waking up multiple times during the night. Many have tried sleeping pills, herbal teas, or calming remedies, only to worry later about dizziness, confusion, or dependency. In recent years, integrative health experts have turned their attention to the vagus nerve, a major pathway that regulates the body's relaxation and recovery response. Surprisingly, castor oil, when gently massaged onto the upper abdomen and chest, has been found to gently stimulate this nerve, sending the message, "You are safe, you can rest." When combined with deep breathing and placing your hand over your heart, the effect becomes even stronger. Marjorie, a 79-year-old former piano teacher in Oregon, shared her story. She had suffered from insomnia for years and tried many different solutions, but nothing seemed to help. One day, while watching her granddaughter practice meditation, she was inspired to create a new routine. 3 evenings a week, she warmed a spoonful of castor oil and gently massaged it in circular motions over her chest and upper belly. Then she placed her hand over her heart, closed her eyes, and breathed slowly. No music, no phone, just the sound of her breath and the warmth spreading beneath her hand. After about 15 minutes, her eyelids grew heavier and her entire body began to relax. After just 2 weeks of consistency, sleep began to return naturally. No medication, no effort, she said. It's not that I fall asleep instantly. It's that I no longer wrestle with myself every night. Science is now catching up to what Marjorie felt. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Neuroscience confirmed that stimulating the vagus nerve can reduce anxiety, improve sleep quality, and help regulate both digestion and heart function. Castor oil is no longer just a simple oil. It becomes a bridge between the body and the nervous system, the place where safety and natural recovery begin. In a world that feels loud and overwhelming, perhaps what you truly need is not another powerful remedy, but a small, gentle ritual before bed. And once you experience that softness, you will understand that true health is not just in the body. It also lives in how gently your mind is comforted. You might be thinking, can a small bottle of oil and a little baking soda really make a difference? But as you've seen throughout this journey, the power doesn't lie in complexity. It lies in consistency and gentleness. Your body, even after all these years, still holds the ability to recover if it is listened to and cared for in the right way. Castor oil is not a miracle, but when used regularly and combined with baking soda, it can soothe persistent joint discomfort, support digestion, improve sleep, boost blood circulation, and help you feel more at ease each day. You don't need to change everything. You don't need a complicated plan. You just need to start with one small action like massaging your feet each night or placing a warm towel over your belly. These gentle gestures quietly remind your body that it's time to rest and that you deserve to heal. The most beautiful part of growing older is not trying to live like you once did. It is learning to live more deeply, more kindly with your own body. If you found today's sharing helpful, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue walking this path together in future videos covering topics like nutrition, gentle movement, and how to stay healthy after 60. And if you have a simple daily habit, whether it's using castor oil, drinking herbal tea, or doing a light exercise, share it with us in the comments below. Who knows? Your story might be the inspiration someone needs to rediscover a more peaceful, balanced rhythm of life at this age.